NSW, what's the most fricked up truth or dare game you've ever had? I was 16 and still very much an awkward teenager, sitting at home one night when my phone rang. A group of girls were going to a party at my good friend's house and wanted me to tag along since they knew he and I were close. So we get there and it's a normal party situation. Someone got a case of beer, another stole some liquor from their parents' cabinet. So after an hour or two, everyone was teenager buzzed and getting flirty. We sit down for a game of truth or dare and the typical kiss her and take your shirt off goes around a few times. So after about an hour, there's a bunch of us half naked in a circle. This is around the time where it goes downhill. My buddy's dad comes home early from whatever he was doing and we hear the garage door open. We all panic and try to redress as quickly as possible. In the calamity, I grabbed a girl's shirt and she starts freaking out because she couldn't find it. His dad walks in as I'm struggling to put on what I finally figured out wasn't my shirt, and starts yelling at us all to get out. I gave the girl back her shirt as everyone is rushed out of the house. I'm the last to leave as I want to find my clothes, but give up after his dad is getting seriously pissed off at me. By the time I get to the driveway, I notice the girls have left without me, so I'm stuck a few miles away from home without a ride and a shirt. I said frick it, there's no remedying this situation and just ran my drunk butt as far as I could. I made it about halfway before I stopped to catch my breath in a neighborhood next to a greenbelt. I'm paused on the sidewalk when I look up and see a cop parked a few houses down. Cop flicks on his headlights and I just stopped. There was no way I was going to make this situation any worse. So they pull up next to me and ask if everything is okay. I was completely honest with them and told the entire story. I fully expected a ticket, but they just started laughing at me and offered a ride home. When I got home, I see my mom sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette. So I step out of a cop car, half naked in the middle of the night, to my mother shaking her head looking like heck fire has struck deep in her soul. I got grounded for 2 weeks. Totally worth it though, because I saw my first titty that night. TLDR. Doesn't matter, saw titty. I had a sleepover in the first year of middle school. My parents were so happy because I barely had any friends, so they did everything they could to make the party awesome, include leaving us totally alone. We played truth or dare, and there was this one girl who was really good and nice. Straight as Miss Perfect pretty much. Someone, I can't remember who, dared her to take off her pants and underwear and go naked from the waist down for the rest of the night. She didn't want to, but she started to get made fun of for not doing it, so she did. She looked so miserable walking around my house with her butt and lady parts exposed to the world. Granted, we were all girls, but it was still weird. I'll never forget how sad she looked. I started to say something about it, but I didn't want to go back to having no friends, so I didn't. But I still feel kinda bad about that to this day. Well, if you say something, you at least have one friend. I'm sure she would have been grateful. My friend used to think he was some sort of player. So, we were all sitting around playing, and we all knew he was going to dare the hottest girl to kiss him. So we set our plan into action. My other friend dared him to chug a bottle of ranch dressing, which he did. Then I dared him to chug a liter of Pepsi 1, which he did. He then proceeded to rave hard and very loud into a trash can in the kitchen, his ton, and he dares the girl to make out with him. She refused. We laughed. What good are friends if they don't dong block you at every turn? I picked dare and finger banged a girl for the first time. That part was really great. The bad part was how I walked out of the bathroom and let my friend smell my finger. I was a pretty stupid kid. Sorry Betty, you were a real sweetheart and I really liked making out with you. Whoa Black Betty. My roommate asked me to rate the attractiveness of all the players. I figured what's the point of truth or dare if you don't tell the truth, and gave everyone a pretty high score except for my one friend who was morbidly obese and the kind of depressed that makes it feel like you're throwing your support and encouragement into a black hole. I tried to be friends with him, but at that point in my life I don't think I was mature enough to handle it well. Anyway, I rated him as a 4, which upset him, and then I went back to his apartment and spent the whole night trying to console him after making the terrible decision of revealing that my rating was not based on looks, but on personality. Basically, it's not that I don't think you're hot, it's just that I don't like you as a person. I feel terrible for how I handled that situation, and honestly how I handled the entire friendship. Never played. Tragic tear. We just did dares. Friend dared me to jump into a glacial pool but naked. My heart almost stopped. Last time anyone did that, for a week. I dare myself to get my dong sucked by Becky. She actually did it. B spat my spunk all over my new hoodie though, was not impressed. I was like 15. Let me tell you, if I was getting a blowy at 15 she can spit that anywhere she wants. Was at a small party. Someone decided to dare a shy girl to leave. Yeah, that butthole got quite some mean looks for that. Hush. Literally every person kissed every other person except me. I know there are some seriously messed up stuff in this thread, but I have to say it hurt that I was not kissed by anyone. Everyone thought you were too dang attractive to use as a dare. When I was 14, I played Truth or Dare at a party. Someone dared me to go on Omegle wearing no pants. So I was just sitting there, with no pants, with a bunch of random dudes starting at me. God, that was the most humiliating thing. So much guilt after. Just an average day on Omegle for the other users then. Greek letter iota was in 7th grade and this was near those weird middle school arties. In order to spare some details, Greek letter iota ran around my friend's house shirtless with a tampon up my nose singing the national anthem. Adolescence was weird. I was about 17 playing Truth or Dare at my buddy's GF's house. My ex-GF was there. We recently broke up but still got along fine. Parking Truth or Dare, she ends up getting dared to blow this dude she had a thing for and did it. I was pee to say the least. They went into the bathroom to do this. As the game went on, the game got more and more physical. A girl was dared to blow me in the bathroom. Me being funny and fairly intoxicated, stand up and drop my pants, upping the dare factor. At this point everyone had seen some body part of everyone, not missing a beat. She crawls over and does the deed right there in front of everyone. As epic as it sounds, I was excited, scared, drunk, and freaked out all at the same time and didn't know what to do. She stopped after a few seconds and everyone was in shock. We won Truth or Dare that night. That was the craziest night of my young life, and that's only half the story. In a nutshell, I accomplished the hat trick later that night. I want to know what the hat trick was. Band buses were the best for Truth and Dares. Probably. No. Definitely. Some physical assault going on there. Anyhow, one time it was getting a little too much for me, and I was tired. So I went and laid down and went to sleep. I woke up some time later and this girl was laying on top of me. I said hey, and she said hey. Then it was silent for a few minutes, and she got up and left. The group that was previously playing Truth or Dare started giggling. Earlier, a dare was for someone else to grope her, and she did not care. She wasn't even part of the game at that point. Band buses were the best for Truth and Dares. Probably. No. Definitely. Some physical assault going on there. No truer statement has ever been made. 5th grade. All girl sleepover. We were at the cusp of puberty and only kinda knew what was going on. Lots of dares involving getting naked and humping stuffed animals. Not Truth or Dare, but another game that involves dares. Also not me, but I was there for it. Anyway, enough pretext. Long story short, my friend, who is a guy by the way, had to knock on his next door neighbor's door at 4 o'clock in the morning and attempt to get inside the house using the excuse, sorry, I was here earlier, and I forgot my purse. Got this one kid in our friend group who turned into a douche after he finally lost his V card at 21 to motorboat our other friend's hairy ass crack. Best part about that game that night was I wasn't even playing. I just hosted the party and fed ideas to the group. I was 18. Got dared to lick a girl's feet and thought it was weird as frick. Turns out that she had a foot fetish and was into me and liked the power trip. I need a party like that. Playing Truth or Dare when I was like 15 or 16. My boyfriend chose Truth and, in front of everyone, admitted he had been cheating on me. All these dang Monopoly cheaters. We were 3 at the end of a good night drinking, all in bed, buzzed, and it ended in a threesome. Great fun. Pretty weird since we are all best friends. 2 guys, 1 girl. That is a young age to be doing that type of activity. We were playing for a pot of $3. It was down to me and my friend. My friend used his skip already, so I dare him something that I know he'll have to skip on. Put a banana in your butt and eat it. This mother sucker gets up, sticks the banana in his butt and completely devours the banana. He won the $3. $3 is $3. My friend was dead to put a ping pong ball in her butt and then shoot it into someone else's mouth. A ball got stuck. She wasn't very happy. Not me personally, but I was there. A friend dared another friend to put a popsicle in their fanny. She did it, and complained about it for years afterwards. That's probably because no one dared her to take it out. When I was 7 or 8 I had somehow started spending some time with a group of 3 older boys, probably 14-15. Can't remember exactly. They used truth or dare as an excuse to do gay things with each other. Nothing wrong with gays obviously, but this was in the 90s, when it was still kinda not right. Glory holes and cottaging were at an all-time high. So yeah, those guys. I didn't actually hang around to see anything, but I somehow think I was at risk when I was in their company. In middle high school, probably 16-17 or so. During the game, one girl says that she has her nipples pierced. Doesn't take long before she is showing them off. She has rings them. She ended up being dared to be a part of every dare for the rest of the night. Being kids, we ended up having her tied to random things while we were playing, including belt loops. She would kneel in front of guys in nothing but panties while basically being hit the face with anything hard they might have, and other girls' earrings, making the other girl motorboat her for the rest of the round. Typically you aren't 16-17 in middle school, more like high school. I picked truth, and they asked me if I had ever cheated on my girlfriend. I could have lied, but I wanted to get this thing that has been haunting me off my chest. I did cheat, and I feel terrible about it. We were playing Monopoly one night, and she was being so mean to me that I just snapped. I took some money from the bank when she wasn't looking. I cheated. She didn't notice and I didn't tell her. When we were in bed that night, she asked me if she could trust me no matter what and I said yes. After she fell asleep, snuck upstairs and fricked her sister. Jesus Christmas. I don't know, but I dared a girl to kiss me and we made out. Nothing came about it. Pun not intended. I was 12, she was 13, almost 14. Dang. Didn't know that actually worked. I once saw my buddy try to pull this off when we were 16. The girl did one of those disgusted faces and was like, how about you choose a different dare? Luckily I had the aloe vera with me in my pocket. I went to Catalina Island for a field trip for my AP Bio class, and on the second night there everyone played truth or dare. A lot of people had to give lap dances and 2 people had to interloctos. It was funny seeing people who seemed like innocent nerds get ratchet. However, one girl picked truth and was asked, who do you like? She told 20 plus people who she liked. It was very interesting. 2 people had to interloctos. Dang, those AP Bio kids get pretty rowdy. A buddy of mine was dared to crap in THR toilet, pick it up, bring it outside and throw it on the driveway. Sucker did it. He got me back later for it though. He did the whole shaving cream to the face thing. Being 12 was weird. Every goddamn time one of these threads explodes I wake up to an inbox of like 200 fricking higher Scandi messages. At least this thread isn't going anywhere. 1 hour old and only 25 upvotes. I'm off to bed. Joke's on you guys. This wasn't even the grossest thing that happened in my life. Maybe some other time I'll tell you about Tina, the girl with the 3-inch clit and prolapsed anus that was really into golden showers. Her parents. We were playing at our college dorm. I picked dare. Couple of girls playing dared me to go to other strangers and asked me to scold them, especially asking them to stop staring at the girls, those who dared me. A couple of guys felt very embarrassed and told me that they didn't mean to stare, while one guy got angry. He was so infuriated that he started pushing me and told me that I can't tell him what to do. Before situation got worse I had to tell them. It was a prank, bro. Social experiment. Gone carnal in the hood 2016. I was 9. My brother was 16. He disguised physical abuse as dares. I was so happy to be getting some attention from him and didn't want to lose the game that I did what I was dared to do. It fricked me up and years later, I'm still fricked up by it. God, I'm sorry. That was not your fault and I hope you don't blame yourself. I hope you're getting counseling or some sort of support. Sending you love. Had a drunken night of truth or dare with a couple friends and some guys we hooked up with. My friend dared me to go out with the guy I was with after he asked me and I said no. It was just supposed to be a one night stand. We've been married for 20 years. That's fricked up. Okay, so this happened a few months ago, maybe October. I was hanging out with my roommate and we decided to make a new drinking game up. Ended up being we all had to take as many shots as we can handle and the person who takes the least in the session had to take a dare from the person who took the most. Needless to say, we made it up to target a specific guy we really didn't like. He talks a lot of crap and can't back it up to your face. Real crap eating grin too. And he stole a bunch of our crap and acted like he didn't when I watched him do it. We had a serious grudge against him, and despite talking a big game he really couldn't handle his alcohol. My roommate wins, and he loses as we'd expected. We got him to pass his cell phone around and let everybody in the room send one text message. I texted his mom asking for some speed. He looks like a speedhead. Somebody texted his girlfriend saying he was cheating and my roommate sent a picture of his own dong, which he whipped out and took a picture of in front of everybody, to the 18-year-old sister. Straight savages. My buddy and his girlfriend both turned 18 within days, and booked a hotel room for them and 2 other friends to stay in and get S-faced. I was obviously one of the friends. We were pretty good and drunk and deep into a game of T or D. I was dared to swallow a strand of my buddy's GF's hair. So I did. I made a funny face when it went down my throat. Everyone laughed, and the game continued. The next morning I woke up and took a massive alcohol crap. The fricked up part is when a piece of my crap was dangling just inches over the water in the toilet because it was attached to the strand of hair that was still hanging from my butthole. I had to reach down and pull the rest of it out, like when your dog eats a piece of string, only with a string of human hair. It seemed normal at the time, but we used to play a spin the bottle dare type thing down the park when we were younger. I am talking year 6 UK, so probably 10-11. Anyway, thinking about it now, it escalated quickly. Kiss sure. Oh, touch her fanny. Well, that feels weird. Get wanked off. Okay, cool. Before we knew it, we were all getting blowjobs and finger banging the crap out of each other. I have this vivid memory of one girl having this massive bush, the standard more developed than the others girl who had boobs at 9. Anyway, I peaked pretty young. After that there was then this 3/4 year gap where we all went off to different school, stopped hanging about, and it took until we were like 14/15 for everyone to be doing that stuff again. Me and my friend were talking about it the other day, both involved in those young sessions I refer to above. Is that normal? We both sort of admitted we may be overly physical as adults. Who knows though, aren't we all? And wondered if it could stem back to that. We also admitted looking back it was probably a bit weird and definitely hasn't been forgotten about. In the UK, fanny refers to the front butt. A friend's little brother dared someone to slice open their finger, jam a paper clip into it and put the paper clip into an electrical outlet. After we said no, he dared the same person to burn down the church 2 blocks down. Truth or dare, one night at our outdoor kitchen where me and a big group of my friends used to hang out. Well, my buddy Tom, for the sake of his privacy, brought his girlfriend Hillary. I, being the evil bastard, planned this one out. There was a super old dusty signed football on top the shelf, just covered with dust. I dared Tom to lick it from end to end. Next go around I dared Hillary to eat a full habanero pepper, and just when they didn't think it could get worse, before either rinsed out their mouths, I made them make out so they each got dusty but habanero mouth. If you ever get the chance again, habanero and BJ equals hilarity. New Year's Eve and I had 4 friends over. One of the dares was having to lick chocolate syrup off my foot, and the same guy had to snort hot chocolate powder. My brother ran up and down the street in his boxers. We made my friend eat a surprise sandwich with egg yolk, pear preserves, syrup and cat food. I got slapped in the bare stomach by everyone, with each one getting harder and harder. And then my cousin had to drink a mixture of mayonnaise, salsa, hot chocolate powder, syrup, and sweet tea. So yeah, crap got weird. My cousin and I used to play this game where one person made a gross food and the other person had to eat it. Then we switched roles until someone refused to eat something. The winner was toothpaste, cat food, coffee beans, and vinegar, I believe. Technically I did not concede, but I did throw up and we stopped the game after that. Freshman year in high school, truth or dare, and we had changed the rules a bit. All a little messed up already. We got to the point all team truth or dare does when the first physical dares start coming out. A girl had flashed the boys her tea. A guy had to pull out his dong and show the girls, and then the real one happened. A friend dared the chick I had a crush on to get into a 3-girl circle of oral. 3 girls in the ring, 3 guys. They all just start undressing and go at it. There wasn't even any looking at each other to see if the others wanted to. That part sticks out in my mind almost as much as the fact that not a single one of us guys took off a single bit of clothing, touched a single girl, or said a single word. We sat there doing nothing. Just teens completely lost in what to do. The entire time I was thinking, any second now I'm getting in on this. Never did. They stopped and kinda looked at us. One was almost mad at us and she tried to continue the game with a dare that I can't remember, and I can't remember how the game ended, but I did end up fricking the chick I didn't have a crush on, which in hindsight meant I fricked the hotter one of the 3. So all in all a win. But god dang if we didn't freeze up completely there. Playing truth or dare with my cousins and our mutual friends. One of my cousins was pregnant, but hadn't told her boyfriend yet. They were both 14, and both playing. It comes up to the point in which this dumb instigating bee asks my cousin truth or dare, and when my cousin chose dare, she dared her to finish off what was left in the bottle of vodka sitting in the middle of us all. My cousin obviously said no, that she couldn't. This prompted the girl to say fine. Truth. Are you pregnant? My cousin denied it, and said no. The girl, however, was persistent. Why won't you drink then? I just don't feel like it. You can't deny a dare because you don't feel like it. I quit drinking. Yeah, and I can fricking fly. Take the drink, Adela. No. Her boyfriend at this point could tell what was going on. My cousin was not the type to turn down a drink, and especially not the type to quit drinking altogether. He stands up, throws the bottle at the instigator's face, grabs Adela and leads her to a back room. My other cousin Marlena took the instigator to her bathroom to get cleaned up. The bottle hadn't broken, just hit her in the lip pretty badly. The rest of us remained silent, listening to my cousin Adela and her boyfriend screaming at each other. Eventually, the screaming turned into crying. Finally they both walked out in tears and he left without saying a word. She ended up having a miscarriage too. So, yep, that game freaking sucked. When I was in 5th grade, my GF and I would make out when dead too. Teenagers thought it was hilarious. We just liked an excuse to make out. One friend dared another friend to pee in his mouth. We were 12. 10 years later I still can't get the image out of my head. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.